In March 1965, seminal events in Selma, Alabama brought the issue of voting rights for black citizens in America to the national forefront in new and important ways. On March 7, civil rights advocates attempting to cross the Edmund Pettus Bridge on their march to the capital of Montgomery were stopped by brutal actions of the local sheriff's department. The events of this bloody Sunday were followed by more demonstrations, including a March 10th march to the Dallas County Courthouse led by 6 nuns. They were members of a delegation of 54 representing the Committee on Race and Religion of St. Louis. One of those nuns was Sister Mary Antona Ebo. She shares her story.
And on Tuesday evening, I was getting ready to go over for dinner and for night prayer, and my superior called, the administrator, and asked me the question, how would you like to go to Selma tomorrow? Well, there was teetotal silence, and she said, are you still there? And I said, yeah, I'm still here, but I don't want to go down there and be a martyr for anybody's right to vote. And then I knew it was a matter that I always talk from my heart, and it was a matter of put up or shut up. I did a lot of talking about what was going on in my world, and there are a lot of us that do that. We're willing to do a lot of talking, but when it comes to walking the talk, it becomes a little bit different. And she said, well, are you still here? And of course that meant, do you want to or not? And I said, yes, I'll go. But I was still reluctant, and then at 10 o'clock that night on the 10 o'clock news was when this white young minister was beat to death on the streets of Selma. He died consequently. And I'm getting ready the next morning to get up and go to Selma. Big old me, you know. I was really going to sock it to him. Non-violently, of course.
we just saw some images of you standing in line with another sister and some priests getting ready to go on that plane that took you down there.
Yeah, Cardinal Ritter had said yes, by all means. He thought it was a good idea to have some sisters or to have some women on the trip, and the women turned out to be 6 of us sisters. So it was 48 men, male clergy, and rabbis, and Protestant clergy and Catholic priests, and also the 6 of us. So it was 2 plane loads of 54 persons, all of them male except for the 6 of us.
So think about the difference that it might make when all of a sudden, and remember, it's the 1960s. A lot of times today, you can walk down the street and you don't know necessarily that the woman walking next to you is a nun. But in the I grew up, okay, I'll age myself. I grew up in the 1960s, and if there was a nun walking down the street, you knew it was a nun. We're talking full habit.
Yeah.
So think about that now, when the people in Selma, Alabama see women in these full habits coming off the plane and then deciding to be a part of this march. And we've got an excerpt from a local priest that will run now that talks about that, and then we'll go to another clip before we talk about what you did those days.
The door of the plane opened, and out stepped this sister in full regalia. I think she was a Franciscan sister. And she was as black could be. And I said to myself, oh my God, this is going to make a difference.
Remember those words, this is going to make a difference. And indeed it did. And the next excerpt talks about their arrival. They're going to meet at a church prior to the march. And what did this mean to the folks who are going to be part of the march? Take it away.
We went to the back of the church. Andrew Young was at the podium and he was talking. He looked up and he saw her. And he said, ladies and gentlemen, one of the great moral forces of the world has just stepped in the door. And everybody turned around and saw this black sister standing there.
They ushered us up into the sanctuary. By my Baptist upbringing, I knew the chair that I was sitting in was the seat of honor. It was the pastor's chair.
It was the pastor's chair. Now, give the students a little bit of idea of what's running through your mind. Black sister, Selma, Alabama, about to march for civil rights. Were you scared? Were you nervous? Was your faith supporting you?
My faith was supporting me, but that didn't say that I wasn't scared. The fear, actually, I think I felt it the most when we went to get off of the plane. And I knew that we had a mantle that we wore over the rest of our habit. And I left that mantle on the plane. And I thought, I'd better go back and get my mantle. I was thinking of the jails in the terms of the Old English towers, and I thought, if I end up in one of those jails and I don't have my mantle and it's March, it's going to be cold. And at that moment, it struck me, well, they don't have their mantle either. But if they get arrested, they'll be together. If I get arrested, I'll be alone. And that's when I really got scared. Because no telling what could happen. I could be another Emmett Till. And I wasn't sure that I wanted to pay that price for their freedom, because I had just voted the day before in St. Louis.
So the next footage we're going to have the chance to see is Sister Ebo at work, so to speak, during the march.
To witness our love for our fellow citizens in Selma. We are here, secondly, to protest the violation of rights.
St. Mary.
She was a Negro.
I am a Negro, and I'm very proud of it. I feel it a privilege to be here today. My name, as they have said, is Sister Mary Antona. I'm from St. Louis, Missouri, and I'm stationed in St. Mary's Infirmary. The Sisters of St. Mary, my superiors, have sponsored my coming to Selma. I feel it a privilege, and I might say that yesterday, being a Negro, I voted. And I would like to come here to say that I feel that every citizen, every Negro citizen as well as the white, have a right to vote and should be given this right. That's why I'm here today.
People were surprised, obviously, to see sisters.
Yeah, I describe it as the six of us little nuns walking across the stage of history and stealing the show on the brothers, because there were 48 of them and only 6 of us. I was so afraid that every time when I see that and it says, are you a Negro? I said, when I saw it in the documentary, I said, if I hadn't seen this and know that it probably did really happen, I know I was there, but I was so scared that I don't remember saying, yes, I'm a Negro and I'm proud of it. I mean, I guess it just came automatically that I would have said that, but I don't remember saying it. I just don't remember saying it because I was that frightened.
But despite her fear, Sister Mary Antona, like so many thousands of others, did what she knew was right, and their actions made a difference. On March 21, protected by federal troops, the activists strode across the Edmund Pettus Bridge and on to Montgomery, arriving on the steps of the state capitol on March 25. On March 15, President Lyndon Johnson spoke before a joint session of Congress and a national television audience and introduced a federal voting rights bill and explained why he felt it was so imperative that it be passed.
Should we double our wealth and conquer the stars and still be unequal to this issue, then we will have failed as a people and as a nation.
And Sister Ebo summarizes why the march in Selma meant so much to her then and why it still means so much today.
What the people were actually demonstrating for was their right to register to vote. This wasn't even to go and cast a ballot. It was that they were not even allowed to go to register to vote. And I usually use an expression with my own folks. When you don't go to vote, it's like spitting on the graves of the very people who have died to give us that possibility of being self-determining. What God has given me as my human right, can't nobody take it away. I have to give it away. And I don't intend to give it to anybody.